Good evening. My name's Ellen. I'm known on Ravelry and Twitter and Plurk as Knits to Stay Sane. I am going to do a video today about using dental floss to add beads to your knitting. I'm currently moderator for a group on Ravelry. We're all knitting the Even Star shawl, which is an epic knit with a scary amount of beads on the bind off, the applied border. There are assorted methods of applying beads to your stitches. For, I suppose, the two main differences, you can add beads to your wool to start, your yarn to start, and then move them into the knitting as you need them, or you can apply them one by one to the stitch. When you're using lace weight yarns, and particularly fragile yarns, applying your beads to the yarn to start and then moving them, shuffling them backwards and forwards is not a good plan, because it causes undue wear to the yarn. Especially lace weight yarns are particularly vulnerable to that. So when you're using fragile yarns, unplied yarns, the best plan when you want to add a bead is add the bead as and when you need it. I know there is a product called Fleagle in the US, which is like a stiff hooked wire, for want of a better word, that you can add your beads to and then thread the bead onto the stitch. It's not readily available in Europe, where I am, and I'm not a great fan of crocheting, so I don't have a huge number of crochet hooks available to me. I do crochet, I just don't do it very well. I certainly don't have very fine crochet hooks. Once upon a time, I decided to knit a shawl, the first lace weight shawl I'd ever done, which had a beaded bind off. And I trawled the internet looking for ways to get these beads on, because I hadn't got a Scoobies as to how to do it, and found the super floss method, which sounded like a cunning plan to me. Super floss, okay. I thought this would be readily available to me. Oral-B is a product and a brand that's available in many forms in the UK. However, I could not for the life of me find a stockist of super floss on the high street anyway. But on the internet it seems freely available. You can get it on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it anywhere, many other places as well. I'm not advertising at all, but that's where I found mine. This product is designed for braces and is dental floss. That's what it says on the tin. But this dental floss comes in 3 sections. Okay, so first section is your normal dental floss type section. It's a flexible floss. The next section is a wider, spongy, fluffy section, which one assumes is designed for cleaning in the nooks and crannies of braces and bridges. The last piece is this stiff, resistant section of floss. So, as a crafter and a knitter and somebody that wants to put beads on yarn, these two bits here, the stiff section and the fluffy section, are the bits we're interested in. So, before I start, I add a knot into this bottom normal section of yarn, of floss, and that's purely to catch any SKP beads. I have used this on 2 or 3 projects now and never lost a bead, but I am now doing an even star, and in my infinite wisdom I am applying 50 beads to the floss at one time, because that's how many I need for one repeat. bear with, that's my son's iPod going off.
Actually, are you sitting on my iPod? No, I'm not.
Okay, so the iPod has been answered, hurrah. So I put a knot in the end to stop any beads escaping. I have my fluffy bit in the middle that I store my beads on, and I have my stiff bit at the end that I apply the beads with. Okay, so here is a strip of floss that I have prepared already. I add 50 beads. Now these are 8/0 beads, size beads, 8mm clear glass beads with a silvered centre, and I can just get 50 beads on the fluffy section. I have decided to pick 50 because that's how many I need for one repeat, and it gives me happy, warm feelings to get through one repeat. Okay, I've got many to go. So, but the knots at the end to stop any escapees, and this is a piece I've used already. Okay, so this is my bag of beads, and all you need to do is use the stiff end of the floss to skewer your beads through the hole. Okay, now I know there are people out there that put their beads into a receptacle of some sort to skewer them, to thread them. I have this abject fear of losing them because I bought 6 ounces and weighed them, and I think I have just enough. I can't afford to lose them. So I have threaded 3 beads, there you go, onto the stiff bit, and if you notice when they hit the fluffy bit they just stop, they don't move, and they're just kind of gripped by the fluffiness. Like I say, these are 3mm beads. You could probably go a bit bigger and still not have them drop off the other end, but not a whole lot bigger. I think a way around it would be to make your knot at your normal end of the floss a bit fatter, and you're less likely to lose your beads. So we've prepped our floss. Now it's time to add the beads to the knitting. So this is my even start. I have done 8 repeats, 8 and a bit repeats of the beaded edging. Oh, that's pretty. I like it. It's times like this I wonder about why I've decided to give it to my mother for her birthday. I love her. Don't love her that much. So, moving away from that. So, ready to add my beads. She says, knitting to the point she's ready to add her beads. I was supposed to get this done in time. Okay, so now I really truly am ready to add my beads. So this is a piece of floss I've used already, and if you note, it's got a bend. This is the stiff bit, but when you use that stiff bit a couple of times, it does remember the kink. And I'll show you where the kink comes in now. I think the kink is quite useful in that it's another locking mechanism for your beads not to escape when you're not looking. So this is back to front, okay, because I'm filming in front of me, so bear with. I am going to, this is my stiff end of my dental floss, and I'm going to thread it through the needle, the stitch I'm going to bead, like that. Okay. Honestly, it's not as tricky as it looks. I'm making this look so cack-handed. I'm going to push off the next bead on my fluffy bit, I'm going to thread the stiff bit back onto the bead. So now, if you look, that's the stitch I'm about to bead. I'm going to pull that off, have faith, and pull the bead onto it. You see that? And then I'm going to put it back on the needle, take the floss out, and I have a beaded stitch. Great thing about super floss is it doesn't die horrible death when you put it in your mouth, so it's handy. Sorry, it's so unattractive, but it's handy. So you then knit your stitch as normal, and then you have a beaded stitch. Okay, let's repeat. Okay, so I have 2 stitches. I'm going to thread. Need to be in the background, dark background. Okay, push the next stitch off, thread it back through the floss, take it off the needle, put it back on the needle, pull the floss off, knit your stitch, and again through the stitch, pick your bead, back through the bead, onto the stitch, put your stitch back on your needle, and knit it. There you go. Another completed row. So, there is some debate as to what's quicker, a crochet hook or floss, or the fleal. For me, I like to have a whole repeat's worth of beads in one go. It just helps me count my rows. At the minute, I cannot maintain this pattern in my head. I just can't do it, so I'm constantly having to count. So by having the whole pattern repeat on one piece of floss, it seems to be helping me. Whether or not that helps anybody else, I hope it does. If not, there's plenty of videos out there that can. So I hope this has helped you. This is Ellen, Knits to Stay Sane. I'll be back. Okay, bye.